Hey everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. All right, I'm here to give you guys a well overdue video in regards to my approved foods. These are just foods that I eat on a normal basis and have in my house at all times. As you know, it's like whenever you get hungry, you are really hungry. So in order to keep the hangry away, I typically have a lot of snack foods and whatnot on hand. So I just wanted to go ahead and first start the video out by saying I am not a professional. I did not get with my nutritionist or do not have a nutritionist that had told me this is what you should be eating. I'm just going basically off of what my doctor had or my surgical doctor had told me and based on my past experience with diets. The best thing that has ever worked for me is going more of a low carb or ketogenic diet, and which is pretty much ketogenic's more high fat, moderate protein, and low carb. Low carb for me, I like to stick underneath 30 grams of carbs, net carbs per day. So I'll go ahead and give you guys a couple things that I like to go ahead and say on video before we get too far into and I show you guys what I have in that beautiful fridge back there and what I also keep on hand. So my guidelines that I tend to stick to is between 80 and 100 grams of protein a day, 30 net carbs a day. Unless you work out, that's typically about 45 grams of net carbs per day. To find out the net carbs, you guys are going to take the carbs minus the dietary fiber and minus any sugar alcohols, and that comes in up with your net carbs for that food or meal or whatnot. Another thing is I drink half of my body weight of water a day. No drinking 30 minutes after meals. Everybody that's had the VSG surgery should know that. The longer that you choose not to drink, the longer you're going to stay full. So you might want to keep that in your head as well whenever you're doing something like this. 5 meals per day. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes as well. 5 meals per day and a half a cup or 4 ounces is all that I allow myself to eat per meal. That's it. So then I also wanted to keep, with that said, you're typically going to keep your net carbs per meal under 10 grams. If you wanted to go higher in carbs, say you want to stay underneath 50 grams of carbs, then just take the 50 divided by, how many meals you have and say that's how many net carbs I need to have per meal. And then the more dietary fiber, the better. Another thing is 10 grams of sugar per serving. 10 grams of sugar per serving or less. Sugar is going to basically promote more of this area, which is your tummy. As you guys know, sugar is going to be stuck in my tummy area, and then sodium is just going to swell me up. So yeah, when your rings start to get a little too tight, that means your sodium's a little high, or you haven't been standing for a very long time. So we don't want that at all. Also, carb snacks. I typically keep my carb snacks or carby snacks in the morning, anything before noon. Also on my cheat days, that is the same thing. I like to try to keep my cheat, when I have a cheat day, which is tomorrow, Sunday, I like to keep those carbs before at 12, or my lunch meal is the last one that I can have my carbs. So pizza, whatever I want that day. I have them before, lunch is the last one that I have that. So anyways, I'll go ahead and give you guys a quick rundown of what's in there, and also on my counter I've kind of laid out a couple things, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like I said, I'm not professional, guys, so it is what I have found that's best for my body. You guys have to kind of play around with it, and I'll give you little tips and tricks at the end of this. All right, first I'd like to start off by saying that all of this stuff, well, besides these, all of this is a no-no. Do you see it? So we're talking about chips, 50 million different kinds. Pretzels, no. This, no. Yes. So this is all actually from a party that I hosted for New Year's Eve, and everybody decided to bring chips. So if anybody wants some chips, let me know. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. This is my new fridge, and I had went ahead and printed out, actually I was looking this up, and I decided to print out some guidelines that I like to follow, and you guys can see that, and I can send it to you as well. And again, I think this is really important to have on hand. I don't usually have this up on my fridge. I just kind of know this by heart based off of my past experience and what I figured out from this. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy. First thing is eggs. Eggs is a huge part of my diet. I have it every morning. And then cottage cheese. Now I have two different types of cottage cheese here. I have this is Anderson Erickson, both of them are, and I really like them both. But the stats on both of them, they're both 12 grams of protein. This one, the top one, is just the Anderson Erickson. It's the old-fashioned cottage cheese. The other one is with sea salt. So this is the issue that you come across, and you may come across. Has 100, and so I really don't care about calories. As you guys know, I'm only eating about 1,000 calories a day. One thing is that I've noticed is that, as you can see from carbs, this one, which is not, the top one is not the sea salt one, this one is. So you're looking at, like, this is the lower fat below, and this is just the regular fat up high, as you can tell from the fat right here, 4.5 versus 2.5. So this carb, which I don't know, this is one of the tips that I have come across. You're going to want to be careful of anything that is diet. As in, you can see here, that's full fat. The reason why I say that is because they're going to replace any of that fat with carbs or sugar. So you can see here, you've got 3 carbs here, and then you've got 5 carbs here. But the protein is exactly the same. The one thing that's going to kill you is the sodium. So 460 milligrams of sodium here, and 390 here. Now that's not that big of a difference, but as I told you, sodium is going to make you swell, retain all that water. So, you know, you kind of want to not have that. Let me go ahead and open this other side too. My alarm might go off, but that's okay. So you've kind of got to decide for yourself. Is it worth it? I would say yes, because I want to save those carbs for any kind of other extra, like nuts or anything like that I would like to have. So the difference in taste, of course this is saltier, but it's not by much. I mean, I actually really like it, so it's not a big deal. I typically do the sea salt one, but I might switch just back to the old fashioned. Not a big deal. And plus that fat is going to do nothing but give me energy. More fat for me, more energy I have. As you guys probably spotted these, oh yeah, I don't even know how to say them, I'll admit that. It's the 000. I really, really, really like these. I can only eat one of these. I typically eat one of them for a snack, and it's my morning snack. Keep the carby snacks for the morning. So you're looking at these right now, and you're thinking, holy crap, 15 grams of carbs. But we're going to minus the dietary fiber, so they're really only 9 net carbs per, and we like to keep it under 10 grams of sugar, so that's 7 grams of sugar. That is in my guidelines. 15 grams of protein for one of these. So I really like these. I decided to try this one, chocolate. I tried the salted caramel yesterday, and it was not going to happen. Okay, another thing too is I want to point out is you're going to see the sauce here. Okay, so the sauce we're looking at, KC Masterpiece. I love this stuff. So I want everybody to know that we need to be aware of our sauces. We're looking for sugar, we're looking for sodium, we're looking for carbs. Be aware of your sauces, okay? Don't just go crazy on the sauces. I know it's great, sometimes we need flavor, but for 2 tablespoons, yeah, calories not that bad, right? 15 carbs, 12 grams of sugar, 12, and there's no protein. So this is basically my family. You know, I'm not by myself, so I do have a family, and this is normally for them. If I do work out, I will have some barbecue sauce with something, but it's like really, really, I mean, maybe a tablespoon. Milk, I do not drink milk. I have Atkins French vanilla shakes, and I have about a third of this inside of my coffee in the morning. And with that said, it actually makes it 5 grams of protein coffee. So, and 2.3 net carbs. The reason why there is carbs, there's usually only one, you know, it doesn't really have carbs in this, but I do put a packet of stevia in there. So this is chicken thighs. This is on my approved list. You want to stick, like let's just say you go to this grocery store, make sure you stick to the outside of the grocery store. Do not go in the inside, because that's going to be nothing but processed starchy carbs that we don't want, that I don't want. Water, my best friend. You want to drink half your body weight in water. That's really not an issue for me. I still cannot chug, but it's not really a big issue. Okay, so we've got 2 things here. This is my daughter's. I do buy them. This is the cookie and cream candies, and this is the Atkins cookies and cream. This is my treat. I do have one of these at nighttime if I feel like I need something a little bit more sweet. If I'm having a sweet craving, I will have this. It tastes like one of those you get from the ice cream man, one of those cookies and cream popsicles or ice creams. Anyways, and it tastes like it's been melted, so it's really good. I like it. String cheese, our best friend. So this string cheese, I get it from Aldi's. I like to, you know, be a little bit on the cheaper side when it comes to food, because I'll never see it again. So 7 grams of protein for this. Not bad at all. And it's 1 ounce. So, you know, we'll just keep that in mind for a minute. Trader Joe's. This is my favorite cheese from Trader Joe's. Why? Because this is the only cheese that I found that is actually 8 grams of protein for 1 slice. And I have this on my eggs. So yeah, here's that. Another thing that I liked, soyaki sauce. I take the chicken thighs, and which is what I'm going to have tonight. I take chicken thighs, cut them up, put them in a pan, and I put maybe a couple of tablespoons of this in there, and I kind of just saute with it. Okay, you guys can see the carbs. There is sugar, so be careful of your sauces. Even with salsa, I mean, if you guys can see that, salsa is going to be, yeah, that's great, but 230 milligrams of sodium there. Parmesan cheese, I've been using that a lot lately, actually, to go ahead and use it as like a breading almost for chicken or something like that. Straight mayo with olive oil. It says reduced fat mayo. You guys can see the stats there, 2 grams of carbs. I use this every now and then. And then one of the secrets I make a low carb meatloaf, and I use a reduced sugar one, tomato ketchup. So that's pretty important. Well, my family eats pretty much the same thing I eat, but I give them carbs, so don't worry, they're not starving. Okay, so this is my freezer, and I will go ahead and get to some of this. So let's just go back to the chicken thighs. I do label everything. So chicken breast, let's talk about this. Chicken thighs, chicken thighs is 4 ounces. For 4 ounces is 22 grams of protein. Chicken breast for 3 ounces is 22 grams of protein, but chicken thighs tend to go down smoother, I guess you would say. So I have chicken thighs, I have shrimp, I have these meatballs that I found from Sam's Club that I'm obsessed with right now. I can eat 5 of these meatballs, and it's 15 grams of protein and 8 net carbs. So I have this for lunch. Oh my gosh, I love them. Pork chop. Already talked about shrimp. There's some chicken thighs down there. Here's some stuff that people brought over for New Year's Eve. There's some meatballs, 2 different kinds of meatballs. I think these are the ones I got. Turkey meatballs. And I think the reason why I got them is because they were, for 5 meatballs, is 13 grams of protein. So if you look at that, but look at this. I mean, you only have 3 net carbs. 3 net carbs there. These are 8 net carbs, but that's because they're chicken meatballs Hawaiian style with pineapple. I mean, you're talking about, there's got to be sugar in there, you know? There's going to be sugar. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you the stats. there is sugar. 3 grams of sugar for 3 meatballs. So each meatball has a gram of sugar. So yeah, 5 grams of sugar for my lunch there. That is not mine, that's my husband's. This is from New Year's Eve. These are my Morningstar patties, and I've talked about them before. You guys can see how small they are. There's 2 in each pack. For these Morningstar patties, you guys, we're talking about, let's see, it was 10 grams of protein and 2 net carbs. Usually a sausage patty is at least another, I mean, it's bigger, way bigger than this. So then I've got these are for my daughter. So, and I do not eat those. Those are really sausage pancakes, pancake sausage, that's what they like. So that's what's in my freezer and fridge. If I can close it, my goodness gracious. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over here. I found these at my local Walmart, and you could probably find them at yours too. I know this is getting kind of long, sorry guys. All right, so they have different flavors, and they have more flavors than this, but these are these 2 I've tried. This one I haven't. As you can see, these are the stats. So you've got 8 grams of protein and 4 net carbs for one of these. But the fiber, as you guys can see, is what we pretty much is important these days to keep it all going great. One thing that I have noticed, you can see this is the dark chocolate with cherries, sea salt, and peanut butter. Of course, cherries, fruit, is going to give you more carbs and more sugar. So I do not eat fruit, and I eat these. And then, of course, you guys know I love my Power Crunch bars. My Power Crunch bars are going to be used from now on as more of a sweet tooth snack. So, you know, I might have them in the afternoon or whatever. This is the stats. 13 grams of fat, which is important for me. About 8 net carbs, 5 grams of sugar, and 13 grams of protein. Lately, at nighttime, I've been having I want something. I feel like I'm hungry. So I've been having a half an ounce of cashews, which is about 8 pieces. And here are the stats for that. That's for 16 pieces. Is 13 grams of fat. Fat is great, guys, not bad. And 8 carbs and 5 grams of protein. So the protein's not that great, and the carbs aren't that great. But I'll tell you now, it has not been hurting my weight loss, so I'm okay with that. Very important for you guys to say that. It's not hurting my weight loss. I eat something, when I first started eating these, I had a half an ounce. I weighed myself the next day, and I was like, usually it takes my body 2 days to feel something. I have another half an ounce. I didn't see anything bad happening, so I continue to have them. These are unsalted, so that's important too. Starkist Tuna Creations packets. Yes, these are in my house all the time. I like the ranch. I like the herb and garlic, I think. 80 calories for this. There are only 2.6 ounces in this. And it's 14 grams of protein, 1.5 grams of carbs. That's great. Another thing that I drink once every week is this organic smooth move. It is what it says it is, laxative tea. I usually drink this at about 6 a.m. and it takes about 12 hours to kick in for me right now. I don't know, it might be a little bit different for... Okay, so here are my little tips for you guys that we can kind of go over, just because I kind of touch base on some of them, and then I just feel like it's best to put them at the end so you guys can kind of do what you will with them. So first thing is that whenever you're eating your snacks or eating meals, period, you want to pair your proteins together. I pair a lot of stuff together. So today for lunch, I decided to have a Tuna Creations packet with a slice of string cheese. Ended up being, let's see, 21 grams of protein and 2 net carbs. So that was really important to me to pair those together so that I can get all of my protein in for the day. You guys know I need 80 to 100 grams of protein per day, and I eat about 1,000 calories a day. I don't know if I said that already. Also, be cautious of the sauces. They taste great, they are great, but they may be high in carb, sugars, or sodium, depending, and also low fat and fat free. not gonna go ahead and get any of those. I try to stay away from them as much as possible. The more fat / protein for myself is going to be equal more energy for me. So fat is good in my eyes. Carbs are not really, I try to stay away from those. So more fat, more energy. Good deal. Also, cheat day or cheat meal. As you guys know, I do have a cheat day, cheat meal. I say cheat day, cheat meal. If you want to have a cheat meal or a cheat day, my suggestions are to make your lunch your last cheat meal for the day. If you want, also you can continue your cheat meal, your cheat day on with alcoholic beverages. You're okay to have those in the afternoon. Why? Because they're not going to hit on your stomach as hard. But you know, if it's your cheat day, then I don't really pay attention to any sugars or anything like that. Just do whatever you will, because that means about 80% of the time, or yeah, 80% of the time you're doing really good on your diet during the week, right? 80-20. So food on cheat day in the AM, drinks on the PM, and it's best to do it on a weigh-in day, or the very beginning of the week after your weigh-in day, just so that you can give yourself that week to go ahead and flush yourself out, because you are drinking half of your body weight in water, right? Yeah, we're doing that. Flavor packets as well. Please use flavor packets if you feel comfortable with it. Or, you know, some people do slices of lemon or berries or whatever. I don't really do that as much. I like a little bit more flavor in my water, but I really think it's important to get in your water, not just through protein shakes. I don't count those. I do count my coffee. Yeah, and I count tea as well. So anyways, also after your cheat day, my breakfast is typically a liquid breakfast. So I will have a protein shake, or I'll drink enough coffee to have a whole protein shake. And then also tons and tons of water that day to get all of that stuff out of my body. And Smooth Move tea, talked about this as well. Smooth Move tea. If you are not going on a regular basis like you used to, or you feel a little bit bloated, then that's what I use. I don't usually use it for bloat. I use it for more the fact that I've realized, holy crap, I haven't gone to the restroom all week like that. So yeah, that's what I use it for. One thing that I want to touch base on as well is whenever I'm looking at these snacks, I do pair my proteins together whenever it comes down to my snacks. So that those Atkins bars, I pair it with a slice of string cheese. Actually, it seems like I pair a lot of stuff with string cheese. So I pair that with string cheese. I pair the Power Crunch bar with the string cheese. Now that I'm going to use those as just more like a sweet thing, then I really don't think I'll be doing that anymore. But if you pair it, then, you know, the Atkins bar that I'm looking at my notes here is 15 grams of protein and 4.5 net carbs. So it's really not that great. Great way to get in your protein and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was well overdue, and I'm really sorry. I was trying to go ahead and get it in now, because usually a lot of people like to go shopping on Sundays. That's what I use my Sunday for, it seems like these days. So I will see you guys tomorrow, because that's when my weekly update is, and hopefully I have good stats for you guys, but we will see. No promises. Getting in all my water today, and everything's going great. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.